Hello guys, my name is Amit. You are on a learning path of HTTP. So today our topic is what is idempotent methods in HTTP. Okay. So first we need to know that what do you mean by idempotent. Okay. But before that, what are the methods available in HTTP? What are the methods that we have already learned in HTTP? So there are few methods we have learned, right? So the method name is we have learned is get. If you can remember, post. Put. Next is delete, next options, head, patch. So there are a few other methods as well. So these are the important methods are get, post, put, delete, and patch. Okay, so these are the methods that used for restful design. So that's why these are the methods considered to be important methods in HTTP. So among them, our topic is what our topic is. Among them, which are the methods that is idempotent? Okay, oh, idempotent. Okay, so what do you mean by idempotent? So idempotent means, okay, idempotent methods are those methods which can be called multiple times and they will produce same result each time. So idempotent methods means they can be called multiple times. So they can be called like they can be called multiple times and they will produce they will produce same result, you know always. So these are these methods are called idempotent methods. Okay, so what do you mean by when we will call multiple times they will produce same result always? What do we mean that? Okay, so suppose there is a method a. Suppose you take is a method, there is a method a, and that returns a value, suppose, and return I. So that means this method a, and we are calling a method. Okay, so what is happening? So like when you are calling the method, so it will always return 0, correct? It will always return 0. So whenever you will call a method, it will always return 0. That means it will always return the value of I, correct? So it will always return the value of I. So is a method is not even modifying the I value, correct? Not even modifying, just reading it, correct? Just reading it, not deleting, nothing, just reading. So that means these a methods will always produce same result, correct? So this method can be called as a idempotent method. Idempotent method, correct? So uh, then the HTTP methods are, first is get, correct? So what get is used for which operation get is used? For reading operation, correct? For read. So whenever you will use a method for read purpose, then definitely whenever you will read a resource, always you will get the same result, correct? So suppose you are reading that resource, you are retrieving that resource, so always it will produce same result, correct? So that means get is a idempotent method. Get is a idempotent method, correct? So next is post. Let me take a example. Actually, suppose I equals to 1. So what post is used for? So post is used for creating a new resource, correct? Creating a new resource. Creating a new resource. So what will happen when we post, call post multiple times? So suppose it's a database table. Okay, so whenever we call a post request, a new db entry done. Okay, so suppose you called post for the first time, a db entry is created. Okay, so next time when you will call, again a new row will be added in the database. Whenever you will call next time, again a new row will be added will be database. So multiple times, when you call multiple times, always a new entry will be added in the database. So that means post will not return same value always, correct? So that means post is increasing the value, correct? Means increasing the number of entry in the database. So post is not an idempotent method. Okay. So next is suppose put. So you will take put. Okay. So put is used for updating purpose. Means it will use for update. Okay. Suppose I there is a value I. So you send the update request that update the value of I is up to 10. Okay, so first on the first request the value will get updated to 10. So you send the same request again, that update value to 10. So what will happen, again it will be updated to 10. So you will send again a next request, update to 10. Again it will be updated to 10. So like means it will always return the same value, correct? So it will never change the value, correct? For the first time it will only update, from the next time it will just override the value. That means you can call put multiple times safely, correct? You can call the update operation safely multiple times. So that means put can be called as a idempotent method. So the next method is, you can consider delete. Okay, so delete is used for deleting purpose. So suppose in the database we have few rows, that means we have few data in the database table. So it's a roll number column. So roll number 1, roll number 2, roll number 3, roll number 4. Suppose it's a name column, so you have a name, something like this. So suppose you send a delete request that delete data of roll number 1. So for the first time when you will call, that means this entry will get deleted, correct? This entry will get deleted. So whenever we will send a same request again, that delete roll number one's data. So whenever you will call again, when it will check that there will be no data for roll number 1. So a response code 404 will come. That means it will show that no data available for that particular roll number. So for the first time when you will call delete, it will be deleted, and from the second time when you will call delete, you know no changes will be done in the database. Only response code of 404 or something like this will come, that file not found or something like this will come. So you can call multiple times delete operation, but the database instance will not be changed. Means the data in the databases will not change. So we can call delete operations multiple times safely, correct? Because for the first time when you are calling, the data will be deleted, and from the next time when you will call, it will always get the same response, that is response code 404, means file not found. So you can call delete request multiple times safely. So that means delete is a idempotent method. Delete is a idempotent method. So next method we'll discuss about, that is patch. So patch is again used for update purpose. So we already have discussed about that. So when a method will be called for update purpose, that means the method will be idempotent method. Got it? So only the method which will be used for creating a new resource, that method only will not be a idempotent method. So let's make it a summary. So what are the methods that are idempotent? So idempotent methods are get, put, delete, options, head. All the method will be idempotent method, but put will be a not, sorry, post will not be a idempotent method. So you might know, we have already discussed about the save method, we have already discussed about the idempotent method, correct? So let's talk about it. Suppose get. Get is a safe, yeah, safe. Idempotent, yes, idempotent, correct. So what is the save method? Save method means which does not modify any resources, correct? We have already discussed about that. So post is a save method or not? Post is not a save method, because post modify the resources. And idempotent, no. Next is, put. So put is safe or not? No, put also update the resources. Idempotent, yes. Delete, delete is safe or not? Delete what? Modify the resources, correct? That means not safe. And idempotent, yes, delete is idempotent, correct? Patch, patch is safe? Oh no. Idempotent, yes. So you can see that all the shape method, correct? All the shape method are idempotent, but all the idempotent method are not safe. So all the shape method will be idempotent, but all the idempotent method will not be safe. So why we are talking about idempotent and safe? Because these properties of a particular method will help you to choose right method for right job while designing a REST web service. Okay, so you will learn about the REST web service later on, but that's why we are talking about safe and idempotency. So what we have learned, is, so there are few methods in HTTP. One is get method, one is post method, one is put method, delete method, patch method. So get is used for reading purpose, means for retrieval purpose. So you want to read a resource from the server, that means you will use get request. Next is post. Okay, post. So why post is used? A post is used for creating a new resource in the server. So you will send a post request whenever you want to create a new entry in the database, or whenever you want to create a new entry in the server. That means you will send a post request. Put request. Why put request is used? You will use put request for updating purpose. You want to update a resource, that means you will send a put request. Next is delete request. Suppose you want to delete a data from the database, that means you will send a delete request. Patch, you want to update a data partially, that means you will send a patch request. So get is used for reading purpose. So whenever a data, whenever a method will be used for reading purpose, that means that method will be safe, because it is not even modifying any resources in the server. So that's why get is a safe request. And what is idempotent? Idempotent means you can call a method multiple times, that means the method will be idempotent method. Okay, post is not a safe method because it is creating a new resource in the server, that means post will not be a safe method. And post is not idempotent because post is creating a new resource in the server. That means whenever you will call the same post request multiple times, that means the same DB entry will happen multiple times. That means a duplicate entry will be done in the database. So that's why post is not a safe request. Means sorry, idempotent request means you cannot call the same post request multiple times. And put is used for updating purpose. That means it is modifying the resources, that means it is not safe. What is idempotent? Because when you will call put method multiple times, for the first time it will only update, and from the next time it will not update, because it will update, but it will just get override. Means the actual resource which you want to get updated, it will be updated, the value will not changed, correct? The whatever your expectations is, that will be fulfilled by put request. So you can call put request multiple times safely without even any worry. And next is delete request. Delete means you are deleting a resources from the server. So for the first time when you will call the delete request, it will be deleted from the server. From the next time when you will call, server will throw a message to you that the resource that you want is not present in my database because I have already deleted from your first request. That's why you can call delete multiple times. That means it is idempotent. Next is patch request. So patch is used for updating resources partially. That's why patch is not a safe method, but it is an idempotent method. Why? Because you can send a patch request multiple times, because for the first time it will update the data, and from the next time it will show, it will just override the data value. So this is all about safe and idempotent. So why we are talking about this? Okay, why we are talking about safe and idempotency of a method? So think about like this. So you have a client, okay, and you have a server, fine, and you are sending a request, fine. You are sending a request, okay. Server will, what the process? The server will pick up your request and will process your request. Then server sends a response to the client, correct? server send a response to the client. So server will send a response to the client, then only client will understand that the request is processed, and whatever responses is client understood the responses with the response code and the response parameter whatever they get. Okay, so suppose think about like this, that before sending the response, server process the request, but before sending the response, server got crashed. So that's why client did not get any response from the server. Okay, it is just hanged on. Okay, server got crashed and it is got hanged on. So client is confused whether the request they sent is processed or not. Suppose you want to create a new entry in the DB, so you send a post request and server processed your request. Suppose server created a entry in the DB also, but server could not send a response to the client. That means client is confused whether he can send again the same request to the server or not. Are you getting my point? Suppose you send a post request, and from the next time when you will send a post request, you'll have to think about that, I can safely use the same post request again to the server or not, or should I check on the DB whether the server processed the request before sending the response, or what happened actually. Should we worry about that? Yes, you should worry about that. At that time, you should think about if the method is idempotent method. If the method is idempotent method, then you don't need to worry about that. You can send again the same request to the server to get the response back. But if it is not an idempotent method, you have to check in your server whether the request is processed or not. If the request is not processed, then only you can send an same request again, because if you will send the same request again, then a duplicate entry will be done in the database. So this is all about it, the idempotency, safe, and all that thing. Thank you, guys.